So, what happens when love collides with privilege, trauma, and family expectations? Hello, guys. Welcome to The Dot, brought to you by Ladybug Productions. This is a space where creativity, emotion, and storytelling collide. I'm Jasmine, your host, and here we explore the quiet truths behind film, television, the creative life, and moments that shape us all. Every episode is a reflection, a soft place to land. We talk about the characters that saved us, the stories that raised us, the art that heals us, and the tiny turning points that change everything. Here, we honor the power of narrative, the heart of being a creative, and the truth that life is made of moments, little ones and loud ones, dots on a map of who we are becoming. Now, before this episode begins, grab a coffee, a tea, and or a snack. Something warm, something comforting. Take a breath, settle in, and let's begin. The story. Again, guys, welcome to The Dot. This is The Real Reflections. These episodes, we deep dive into movies that shaped our teenage hearts. Late night sleepovers and long car rides with burned CDs. Today, we're rewinding the clock back to 2001 with a film that was moody, raw, unexpectedly real for a teen romance. Crazy Beautiful, starring Kirsten Dunst and Hernandez. This isn't your typical high school love story. It's about privilege, ambition, and the messy ways love can both destroy and save you. Now, in 2001, there weren't really a lot of movies like Crazy Beautiful. You had your 10 Things I Hate About You and Bring It On and movies like that. Happy, jovial teen movies. But Crazy Beautiful was one of those movies that kind of stood out. And in 2001, I graduated high school. Yes, I did just age myself. No, don't come for me. 2001 was a great year. Except for a little thing that happened in September, but I digress on that. In that same year, we saw a movie that had one of the most prolific actresses at the time, Kirsten Dunst. She had already been in Interview with the Vampire, Spider-Man, and this is a role that, like all of her roles, surprises people. And then we had newcomer Hernandez, who had his breakout role in this film. And he proved that he has range and depth, and he is an awesome actor. And he went on to star in Suicide Squad alongside Will Smith and Margot Robbie and other movies. Crazy Beautiful is not a movie that I've seen talked about a lot. YouTube or really anywhere. It's like one of those little obscure movies that, you'll be elated and happy when you find someone else that's seen it and you're like, oh my God, I am not the only person. Because, like I said before, it's one of those movies that is very underrated. And I guess we can explore why. But before we go into those nuances, let's talk about the film itself. All right, let me set the stage for you. Nicole Oakley, who is played by Kirsten Dunst, is Malibu royalty. She's the daughter of a wealthy congressman, Tom Oakley. She has an ocean view mansion, a sports car, the whole deal. But under the surface, she's reeling. Her mother died by suicide. Her father's emotionally absent, and she's stuck in a cycle of reckless behavior drinking, skipping school, pushing every limit that she can find. She has a stepmother that is unbearable. If you want the meaning of the word wicked stepmother, yeah, that's Nicole's stepmom. On the other side of the coin, you have Carlos Nuñez. He's the opposite of Nicole. He's disciplined, he's ambitious, he's grounded. This man takes 2 buses every morning just to attend school on the other side of town. And he dreams of being a Navy pilot. This man takes 2 buses to go to a school that will give him his best chance. He's also a football player on the high school team. Now, I found that Crazy Beautiful is a Romeo and Juliet story. I guess we'll see why in a minute. When Nicole and Carlos fall for each other, it's not just opposites attracting, it's 2 worlds colliding. Nicole's chaos starts pulling Carlos off course, and Carlos's structure forces Nicole to confront her pain. But before they fall in love, they have to meet, right? So, in the beginning of the movie, we hear Nicole's narration.
Remember most of 17. Remember the day we met.
And within those few minutes, we meet Nicole. At first, we see Carlos hanging out with his friends on a pier, just watching the beach, watching the girls on the beach, just being guys. And then one of them throws the smallest boy over the railing. It's so cute. And he actually meets Nicole first.
Hey, you missed one.
Thanks, that's really helpful.
She scares the crap out of this poor little boy before his friends come to ultimately rescue him for the hell that he just potentially fell in on.
I robbed a 7-Eleven.
What?
Yeah, stay away, I'm dangerous. I'll mess you up.
My bad. Man, y'all always gotta follow me, man.
And that is where Nicole and Carlos see each other. They see each other. They're interested in each other. Instantly, a crush forms between the 2 of them. The guys are unceremoniously told to
push on, vámonos.
Vámonos. We only talking to the girl, man.
by the guy that is overseeing Nicole's community service. Prepare yourself for a lot of racism in this film. Just prepare yourself. So, over time, the next instance, we see the beginning of their typical lives. Nicole's laying in bed, fighting with her demons, her depression, and everything else. And then she gets up and gets ready to go to school because her live-in maid calls her to come out to get ready for school. She comes out, she takes her medicine, she waits. She's watching TV, which she's apparently not supposed to do.
Nicole, you're not supposed to watch TV in the morning. Are you going to change for school?
Mrs. Squirm?
According to her stepmother, she shooed out of the house, waiting for her friend to come. Nicole's picked up by her friend, and they go to school. We see their car ride to school. And then we flip over and we see Carlos. He's being woken up at before the butt crack of dawn. So he catches a city bus. So he gets to the closest bus stop to catch the school bus to get to school. That's dedication. And then he gets to school and we see their day start. Her friend get a pass to leave their class to go to the bathroom. And the 2 of them meet up in the courtyard where Nicole and her friends are smoking and drinking in a tree. I'm not joking. In the tree. Carlos happens to come out because he had to go to the bathroom apparently at the same time, and he gets in trouble with them when the administrator comes sees them all out there by the tree. He catches them that they're drinking, and they all get after-school detention. Carlos gets in trouble with the football coach because he had detention that he had to serve before he went to practice. And then we see that the coach makes him stay after to lift weights, which he really doesn't have to, but he does, because he's disciplined. And we like a disciplined king. We do. So then, after that, Carlos misses his bus home. He misses his bus home. He arrives late, and his mom's worried because he was late. Why were you late? I had detention. Why did you have detention? And, it's nothing to worry about, Mom. It's fine. And blah, 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 blah. The end of that discussion. Fast forward. Nicole and her friend Maddie, played by Tara Manning, decide to go to the football game. They go to the football game. They cheer Carlos on. They meet Carlos at the end of the game. And all of them go on a trip to take Carlos home after the game. On this trip, they stop at a food truck, eat some genuine tacos. Genuine south of the border tacos. Carlos and Nicole end up sharing a kiss, and because Maddie had to pop a squat. If you don't know, don't ask. You don't want to know. You weren't there. You don't understand. And then finally they continue and take Carlos the rest of the way home to East LA. And there you see another instance of racism, this time from the mom. Lovely little microaggression that she has. Comes out, sees Carlos is home late, looks at Maddie and Nicole and go, who are these white girls you're with? And she doesn't thank them or anything. She just tells Carlos to get inside. But the look on her face says it all. Oh, and his mom does not speak a lick of English in this film. So, congrats if you pass Spanish. You understand what the hell she's saying. So then, Nicole and Carlos meet up again at school, after school. And Nicole takes Carlos to her house. They have privacy. She wants to hook up, but Carlos is like, no, I'm not going to hook up with your windows being all open and your family being right outside. That's crazy business. So they scrap that idea. They continue to hang out, and Nicole gets the idea, he wants to be a naval pilot. I have a private plane. Let's see how he likes to fly. And she takes him on his first flight that's not in a simulator. Epic. Then she invites him back to the house, and they actually do hook up because she cleaned up her room and she made it private, and she made sure that her father was going to be gone for hours. That's when they start falling in love. That's when they officially start dating, and it's good, it's great until it's not. Carlos sees that dating Nicole is having an effect on his life. He sees that his life is spiraling downward. Not necessarily because of her, but she seems to be a common factor in it. Upon meeting Nicole's father, he sees the life that she has versus the life that she projects to have. And he is affected by it. They go to a beach, and Carlos remembers, oh crap, I have a quinceañera to go to. So Nicole takes him home. He changes his clothes to get ready for this quinceañera. Nicole is there, and she is in cutoff jeans and a t-shirt, and she is sticking out like a sore thumb, and she feels it. She feels the looks of judgment and that, oh, why is Carlos hanging out with this girl? This girl is not like us. This girl is just going to bring him down. This girl is dirty and trashy, and he doesn't need to be around her. she offers to help his mom with whatever his mom needs help with in the kitchen. And his mom, the only English she speaks in the whole movie, says, no, that's okay. Mama, she offered to help you. And Nicole is the least racist person in this whole movie. Come on. So Nicole leaves the party. She's feeling just bad, really bad. She is triggered and she's affected, and she feels like she's basically been judged and shut out and shunned, and she feels abandoned at this point. Especially when she goes in the bathroom to calm herself down, comes out and sees this cute little Hispanic chick flirting with Carlos. Even though Carlos really is not having it, she's still flirting. She's giggling, she's tossing her hair, she's giggling, she's laughing, she's tossing her hair, she's touching his chest, and Nicole feels like he is falling for it, and that he's going to leave her, and that this girl is the downfall of their relationship. So she leaves. And she realizes, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have left. Calls Carlos at the party. Carlos gets a ride out to see her, and there she says, I'm sorry I left, I shouldn't have left, I love you. And it shocks the fuck out of him. He's like, what? Carlos goes to a meeting he has with Nicole's father. Nicole's dad figured out, oh yeah, you were with my kid, okay, let me give you some advice. Says things, he's like, she found her mother, and she's messed up, and she messes up people's lives, and it's best to stay away from her if you think you want to have a career, and all this other stuff, and really gets into Carlos's head. And that's kind of scummy, in my opinion, because it got into Carlos's head. He starts avoiding Nicole. Nicole catches him at school. She's trying to talk to him. He says that he needs to get his priorities straight. That's all well and good, Carlos. It's wonderful. You want to get your priorities straight. But you shouldn't have lied to Nicole. You should have told her that, hey, I met with your dad. He said this, that, and the other. And he said that I need to do this. But I want to do it, but I don't want to do it without you by my side. No. He said I need to get my priorities straight and let her spiral. She spiraled. She did. She ran off. She disappeared. She went on a party binge and ended up at a party with one of Carlos's white friends and teammates from the football team. I swear, this dude I want to punch more than the stepmom. Carlos goes to the party. Carlos finds Nicole. Carlos sees his friend all on Nicole, kissing her in the pool and touching on her. He doesn't like it, so he punches the guy out. Drags Nicole out and takes her home in her car. Another racist action happens here. They get pulled over. The cops suspect that Carlos did something to Nicole and is driving away in the car. Carlos is being honest. Nicole is passed out in the passenger seat. And when she comes to, she sees the officers and she freaks the fuck out. She yells at them, don't touch me. I didn't do anything. Why are you touching me? Get off of me. She becomes combative and uncooperative. Carlos ends up being forced onto the hood for trying to get Nicole to calm down. So they get back to Nicole's house. Nicole's father's there. He's like, okay, why the hell are the cops escorting you home this time? The cops tell him. And then right there in front of Carlos.
No, you can't handle it.
Oh, just calm down.
Calm down?
Everything is gonna be all right.
No, it's not gonna be all right.
Look at you. What are you doing now?
What's the matter out here?
Look, just go back into the house, Courtney.
Is she drunk again?
Courtney, look, I am taking care of this.
How many more times do we have to put up with her behavior?
Courtney.
When is it going to be enough, for God's sake? When? Look at you, Nicole. Just look at you. What kind of a daughter are you?
Not yours.
Thank God for that.
Carlos, please, what did I tell you? Just go away. Please, just leave. Go. You hear me?
Why do you hate me so much? How can you tell the one person in the world that I love, that I care about so much? How could you tell him to stay away from me? Do you think the only thing I'll do to anyone is screw them up? Do you think that I'm not worth loving?
A couple of scenes pass by in a montage. We don't see Nicole. We see Carlos worried about where Nicole is. He notices that she's not around. Turns out Nicole was getting ready to be sent to Nicole was preparing to be sent to the Turnabout Ranch in Escalante, Utah. Oh, I'm making a video about that, don't you worry. Carlos doesn't find this out until he actually catches Nicole at school being escorted by two fairly large gentlemen to the photography classroom where she's gathering her pictures that she had in the dark room and that she had in the room so that she could go, because she didn't want to leave her pictures behind. She is a very wonderful photographer. Of course she wouldn't leave the pictures behind. I wouldn't leave the pictures behind. He's like, you're not going to go to that ranch? She's like, yeah, there's like a really big burly guy outside waiting for me. I'm going to end up going whether you like it or not. He's like,
then let's go out on Sunset.
And they run away together. They run away and stay away for a couple of days. Carlos gets curious and looks through Nicole's little scrapbook that she's been making the entire movie. Nicole has a lot of issues. She talked about how she found her mom. She talks about how she feels like her dad feels like she's going to end up just like her. Carlos gives him some advice. You go tell your dad this. You guys talk about it. Y'all work it out, because it really seems like there's no talking going on between the two of you. And really, there's not. There's no talking. There's Tom making declarations, Nicole yelling, trying to get attention, trying to get him to stop talking and to actually listen to what she's saying, and he's not hearing any of it. So then she takes Carlos' advice. Mr. Oakley is on the phone trying to call Nicole's friends, try to find her. He doesn't find her. She walks to the door and he's like, oh my God, you're here. And they decide they want to listen to each other. Stepmom comes out.
What's going on?
Oh, that's what we're trying to figure out.
She's going to that school in Utah. I am not the bad guy. This is not about me. I have a child that I'm thinking of.
So do I. 2 children.
Damn! So basically, stepmom gets shoved to the side. You get points for that, Tom. You get major points for that. That is basically the movie in a nutshell. So let's actually talk about it. Characters and cast. So as I said, this movie stars Nicole Oakley, aka Kirsten Dunst. This is one of Kirsten Dunst's first major dramatic roles after being a bubbly teenager in Bring It On. And like I said, she was in Interview with a Vampire in the early 90s. She plays Nicole as magnetic, fragile, capturing the chaos of someone who wants to be loved and doesn't believe that she deserves it. She is very amazing at capturing somebody with a mental illness. Whether it's PTSD, CPTSD, BPD, bipolar, depression, she is amazing at it. And I believe in an interview that she did, she confessed that she suffers from, I think it's either bipolar or depression, and that's why she's able to capture these moments so freaking well. She is a great actress. She really is. Carlos Nuñez, played by J. Hernandez, again, this was his star-making debut. He plays a steady, grounded, sincere character. Carlos isn't just a love interest. He's a young man balancing duty, family loyalty, and the pulls of first love, and he handled it amazingly. I mean, I became an instant Jay Hernandez fan watching this movie, and he's gone on to play in other movies, and he did tremendous. He did tremendous in this movie. Congressman Thomas Oakley is played by Bruce Davison. If you don't recognize him, go watch X-Men. He played a congressman in X-Men. He plays Nicole's father, again, Thomas Oakley, and he embodies authority and control. His role reflects the challenges of raising a grieving, rebellious daughter while juggling demands political life and demands of a new wife, a new daughter, who does not wish to fully accept the fact that she is a stepmother of a teenager who is hurting. Supporting roles in this film include Tara Manning as Maddie, Nicole's troubled best friend, Ronaldo, I am totally gonna butcher this, Ronaldo Molania, I am so sorry, dude, as Hector, Carlos's supportive and protective older brother. Their presence adds dimension to the two worlds colliding, Nicole's world of reckless privilege and Carlos's world of discipline, hard-earned opportunity. Hector actually rails Carlos in this movie when Carlos...
Don't goddamn boss! What? Don't disrespect moms like that, boo. Are you gonna tell me how to talk? Huh? Hey, so you know what? Let me tell... Ama, por favor. Ama, por favor. Let me tell you something, Holmes. She busts her ass every day at a shit job for you, S.A. Not for me. Every day, S.A. You owe it to her to make something of yourself.
Nicole's stepmom, Courtney, played by Lucinda Jenney. She's here to highlight just how displaced Nicole feels in her own family. Like I said, Nicole is dealing with a lot of things going on up here, and Courtney is not helping in these slightest. Together, these performances create a portrait of love, conflict, and the painful process of growing up. And believe me, growing up with things flying around in your head all the time, that's hard. Sometimes there's movies that have casts that you watch and you go, how? I don't understand why these are working together. But this movie, you actually see how the cast and how the characters of this film help give a more fulfilled and 3D picture of this story. Maddie sees what Nicole's going through. Maddie sees the pain in Nicole and the pain that Nicole is trying to hide from. But the only way that Maddie can help Nicole is by borderline enabling her. And by trying to distract her by talking about Maddie's own messed up life that I really wish we could see more of sometimes. And Carlos's friends, they don't see the fact that Carlos wants to have a better life, and when he's with Nicole, they don't see him trying to help someone who is clearly in need of someone to love and understand her and make her feel like she's belong and make her feel worth loving and worthy of love at all. His Hispanic friends see him with somebody who is destructive and will only destroy his life. His white friends don't see anything at all. They're just there. They don't see anything going on. And to see these worlds collide, they really did put together the proper cast for the story to be told, and I think it's absolutely amazing. Sure, there's some people that they can do without. Sure, there's some performances that may need to be tweaked a little bit, but all in all, it gives a good picture of what's going on in this story. But you can't have a good story without talking about the vibes and the music that goes along with it. So without further ado, the music and the vibe. Now, this is an early 2000s teen drama, and in early 2000s, the soundtracks were fire. I mean, fire. Crazy Beautiful leaned into the alt rock and Latin influences of the era. You have a lot of indie darlings. You have a lot of Latin artists on this soundtrack. On the official soundtrack, you have bands like 7 Mary 3 with their song Wait. Chilean rock band Lele with Siempre or Every Time. You also have Remy Zero, Collective Soul, and David Gary's haunting ballad, This Year's Love. Beautiful soundtrack. And this soundtrack also includes Lily Frost, Who Am I? Emiliana Tottori, To Be Free. And those songs I actually really, really, really love. And I have the soundtrack. I have the movie. And I have listened to this like over and over again. The ending song, Perfect by Moran Ornid. Oh my gosh. That is beautiful. That is absolutely amazing. Lori Carson with I Want to Believe in You, and the Dandy Warhol's Sleep. Amazing. Like I said, this is an amazing soundtrack. This is one that I would recommend that you listen to. Like, you watch the movie and you listen to it, and this is a soundtrack that actually fits with the movie. It fits every aspect of this movie. It is great. It is wonderful. And yeah. Every Time plays when like I said, Perfect plays at the end of the movie during the credit roll. To Be Free plays when Carlos and Nicole that's the soundtrack. The soundtrack is really awesome and amazing. I recommend people just pick it up. The themes. So what is this movie ultimately about? Underneath this teen romance, there are heavy themes in this movie. And this is actually where Crazy Beautiful stands out from its peers at the time. And probably why it is like the most underrated film I've ever had the privilege of watching in my entire life. Crossing Divides. The romance between Nicole and Carlos challenges cultural and class barriers. This film doesn't sugarcoat the strain of crossing worlds. It shows the toll it takes on both families and their lives. Very Romeo and Juliet. That's what I was saying. And another way it was Romeo and Juliet. It has a theme of privilege and opportunity. Nicole's privilege gives her freedom, but leaves her adrift. So she has the freedom to live her life, to do what she wants. But that privilege comes with the consequence of not having someone who is actually there for her, not knowing who she actually really truly can count on when she needs to. Like, sure, she has her friends, but are they really going to be there when she actually needs them? When she's spiraling and she needs someone to ground her? Carlos's working class background forces him to fight for every step forward, to fight for everything that he wants. It's not handed to him on the plate. I mean, my man takes 2 buses to get to school. He takes a city bus to get to the school bus stop that will take him to school. He has to fight every day. His dreams come true, what he wants to do, he's fighting for it every day. He doesn't have the privilege to sit on his ass and have things handed to him. Their love highlights the imbalance of opportunity and expectations, which means Carlos has to fight for his opportunities. Nicole has to fight for the affection. So in Carlos's home, he gets the affection and the encouragement and the love and understanding from his family, but he doesn't have the privilege. Whereas in Nicole's house, she has the privilege. She has everything at her feet, but she doesn't have the love and the encouragement and understanding of her family. Trauma and self-destruction. Nicole embodies the struggle of living with the grief and trying to fill the void with chaos. She's trying to fill the void of what she's missing. I mean, the girl found her mom dead. That's terrible. That is terrible for a little girl to come home and find that their mother is dead. Now, I've never had that kind of grief, but I understand what Nicole's going through afterwards. So she's trying to fill the void of the love that she lost when her mom died, and the fact that her dad is still grieving and kind of blames her, and it kind of shows. Her journey shows how destructive patterns can sabotage even the most genuine love. Family expectations. Carlos's family wants him to succeed academically and avoid distractions, aka Nicole, while Nicole's father wants control over her image. Basically, Nicole, stop being who you are and be this person I want you to be. Here's a box, fit yourself in it. Both characters face the weight of their family's expectations, making their relationship more than just a romance. It's a rebellion that is healing both of them. Because believe it or not, Carlos may have his family's love and support, but the expectations are actually breaking him. And that is actually almost as damaging as the crap Nicole's father puts her through. Because if he fails at any point, he's going to feel like, or he does feel like, he's disappointing his family. He's letting them down. And that's just as bad. So they're healing each other. And they learn how to find balance within each other and compromise. This rebellion that they're doing is basically saying, hey, I am a person too. I have my own autonomy and I want to take control of my life and what I do with my life. And the film wants us to ask, is love enough? Does healing have to come first? And I think, my personal opinion, love can heal if you have the right person. If you have the right person that sees you, not sees the person you want to project, but sees you, all of you, it can heal. It might take time, but it can heal. The Legacy. Directed by John Stockwell, this film was actually supposed to be a lot edgier than it was. It's supposed to be more R-rated with harder party scenes, possibly a lot more drugs, a lot more self-destructive behavior, but that, like I said, would push it to an R rating. So with studio interference, it was trimmed back for a PG-13 release. My God, I want to see what an R-rated Crazy Beautiful would have been, because that probably would have been a lot more accurate. Even so, credits praised Kirsten Dunst and J. Hernandez for bringing honesty to a genre that was often glossy and shallow. Hello, Bring It On. We're looking at you, kid. It does not get remembered now, like 10 Things I Hate About You, She's All That, Bring It On, and other early 2000s teen movies. Hell, even in the 90s with Can't Hardly Wait. That's another glossy, over-processed teen movie that's not realistic. Crazy Beautiful was realistic. It brought to life issues that teenagers were facing that nobody wanted to talk about, much like way in the early 90s, in like 94, 95 with My So-Called Life, and it only having one tragic season. It brought a realness to teenagers that nobody was ready for. So Crazy Beautiful, even though it was critically acclaimed, was swept under the rug in favor of the more glossy, unrealistic teenage lives. I want to see more movies like Crazy Beautiful, and quite honestly, I'd rather make movies like Crazy Beautiful instead of glossy, over-processed teen dramas that really make no fucking sense. Crazy Beautiful carved out its own niche. A teen romance that's not afraid to be messy, dramatic, painful, real, and human. This movie showed Kirsten Dunst's range beyond teen comedies and launched J. Hernandez's career. J. Hernandez went on to do projects like Friday Night Lights, Hostel, and The Suicide Squad. And more importantly, it gave audiences a love story that wasn't polished or perfect. This love story was chaotic. It was painful. It was real. It was crazy. And that made it beautiful. All right, friends, that was our look at Crazy Beautiful. My God, if you haven't seen it, go find it. I guarantee you'll find it out there. It's amazing. It's a good, raw look at what teenagers actually went through and sometimes still go through now. It is an inspiring film. It really is. Yes, it's a time capsule early 2000s cinema, but it's a mature one. It's more mature than other movies you'll find from that time. I guarantee it. It will unsettle you, but it will warm your heart at the same time. Thank you for spending time with us. If something from this episode stayed with you, let it. Sit with it. Carry it. And come back to it when you're ready. If you'd like to support The Dot and the stories we're building here, you can visit our Patreon for behind-the-scenes reflections, early episodes, unedited episodes, exclusive creative content. You can also explore our merch, quiet keepsakes for creatives inspired by story, emotion, and the worlds we love. If this episode resonated with you, please, please, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might like it too. Leave a comment below and tell us what stayed with you. What story shaped you the most. We might make a video on it. Follow us on all of our social medias for updates and upcoming episodes. All of the links are below in the description. Thank you for being with us here on Real Reflections. And come back for another turn of the millennium favorite, or even an early 90s, or even a late 90s favorite that really resonated with us and we grew up with. Join us as we explore another dot that makes us a full picture. I'm Jasmine from Ladybug Productions. This is The Dot, and I will see you next time. Bye, lovelies.